Are you ready to start that packaged food business and you're wondering how you can maximize your profit so that you do not start an expensive hobby? For the best packaged food advice, subscribe to this channel, Food Business Success, and be sure to click on the little bell and be notified every time I release a new video all about starting a packaged food business. When you're just starting a packaged food business, your expenses are going to be high. You just can't compete with large-scale manufacturers who have a lot of efficiencies. So you have to find ways and be really diligent about maximizing your profit because it can be easy to start an expensive hobby, and I don't want that for you. Watch this video to the end to get my fourth strategy for maximizing your profit. Whether you are starting out at a farmer's market, you're doing online sales, or you're going into wholesale, or some combination of those. I'm Sari Kimbell. I am the creator of Food Business Success, and I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs start and grow a profitable food brand. Comment below and let me know what type of food business you are thinking about starting. So as I have mentioned in the other videos, profit is a simple equation. When you boil it down, it is your sales minus your expenses, basically. So there are really two types of expenses that you can control in your business. The first is cost of goods sold, and watch the first 3 videos in this series about maximizing your profit, and we go over our cost of goods sold, or COGS, really in detail, and 3 ways that you can maximize profit in your cost of goods sold. So this 4th video is about your overhead expenses, the other expense that you're going to have in your business. And really there's actually 2 types of expenses under the umbrella of overhead, and that's your fixed expenses and your variable expenses. So let's talk about those 2 things and some ideas on how you can minimize those expenses so that you can maximize your profit. So fixed expenses could be things like a lease or rent that's the same every month. It could be your insurance. It could be your licenses you can't really control. So anything that is just a fixed, steady, I know that this is going to be an expense every single month. And then variable expenses, just like it sounds, vary month to month potentially. And the main one that we really look at, labor is a variable expense. You can control that. That can go up and down if you're paying someone else, right? And then marketing expenses are typically your biggest variable expense and pot of money that you can control. And it's a tough balance because you do need to invest some money into your business, into marketing, to get some return back. I don't want you to not do any marketing. It is an investment, but of course you're trying to get more sales than you put out for marketing. So in both fixed and variable, the key is to really evaluate those and do some due diligence. So with fixed ones, are there any ways to get some of those costs down? Maybe look at different insurance providers, or you could even look at different kitchens or try to negotiate a different rate, right? So how could you potentially get some of those fixed expenses down? So variable expenses, really the trick here is you're gonna have to be really diligent. I would say labor is one of the biggest areas where people get into trouble because if you're hiring people, let's say to go run a farmer's market, are you really checking their time cards and being sure that they were there when they said they were going to be there and they're not overcharging you? So you want to be very aware you are now running a business, and so you need to run your business like a business. Don't just assume anything. Be very clear up front on your expectations with your labor. And if sales slow down for some reason, you go through a little bit of a lull, be sure you pull back your labor. Marketing is probably the other area that you can really have an effect on your expenses. But I always want to caution you that you should never pull back too much, because marketing is an investment. And ideally, you are putting in an investment of some dollars into marketing, and then you're getting a lot more in sales back. So what you really want to be doing is being sure that you are really checking those ROIs, the return on investments, for each area of marketing. So let's say you're running a Facebook contest, and you're going to put some money behind that. You really want to be diligent about watching the numbers, doing some A/B testing, and making sure that that ad is actually getting you follow through and clicks, or whatever it is that you want people to do. If you're finding after a couple of days it's not working, then you got to shut it off. You got to try something different. So be sure that you do invest in marketing. Typically in a larger scale brand, we would say about 20% of your sales should go back into marketing. But when you're just starting out, you do want to be careful with those marketing dollars. I would say where you want to put your energy is growing your email list is really important. So things like running contests, like enter to win at your farmers market booth. I've had good success with clients where we put up an enter to win Facebook contest giveaway to get product. You could look at influencer marketing, printed materials, of course. So you want to just really evaluate. You don't want to just go all in. You want to really evaluate what's going to give you the most bang for your buck, and again, be evaluating that ROI, return on investment, for each of those activities. So managing your expenses is really crucial. It's going to really help you increase your bottom line, increase that profit. Because again, sales is going to be minus your cost of goods sold, and then minus all of your overhead expenses, and then whatever is left is yours. So before taxes, of course. So be sure that you are doing all these things, anything that you can do to really control your expenses, and you'll see that you can maximize your profit that way. Are you ready to start that food business adventure? Be sure to pick up my free business checklist below. The link is below, and I'll send that right to your inbox, and that will really help you get started on the right foot. What other questions do you have for me? I'd love to make more videos about your questions and make sure we get those answered. It really helps me if you subscribe to this channel. Also, if you want to join a community of like-minded food business entrepreneurs, I invite you to check out foodbizsuccess.com/membership. And I have a monthly coaching program where you will get all of your questions about starting a food business answered quickly and correctly. We have live monthly group coaching calls, as well as a private Facebook group. You can also add on to get individual consulting and one-on-one strategy sessions with me if you'd like to do that as well. So don't go it alone. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see entrepreneurs make, is that they feel like they can do everything all on their own and figure it all out. And I want to offer you this opportunity to flatten your learning curve and start a profitable food business.